Everybody that suggested that early on when we moved into the shop, you were right. It was inevitable. What's going on, guys? We're getting today. Say hey, dudes. Welcome to the channel.
I'm getting kisses from Z.
You're such a good boy. Yes, you are. 5 months old already. Can you believe it? Doing one of our favorite things here with little Jack. Usually it's in the morning, but today it's in the afternoon. We're getting this video started a little later, hanging out here in the house, doing our favorite thing, which is watching SpongeBob, boys. Yeah, this is the best cartoon ever, and well, typically we like to hang out and watch it. This man's got some good taste. Not that I'm biased or anything, but apple didn't fall far from the tree. He is so talkative. I think we're gonna take the fork. The question is, boost A? We're getting this video started a little bit later today. Traditionally, I like to start my vlogs right around 8, 9, 10 a.m. But now it's already, well, 4:15. Feels a lot later than that because of daylight savings time or lack of daylight savings that there is in the winter time because of the winter solstice.
Wow, that's really counterintuitive.
It makes no sense. Whoever originated this daylight savings time, I have a serious bone to pick with them. It makes no sense whatsoever. But I guess one thing that comes out of cold days is cold starts. Did you open the door?
No.
Yes, boys. So if you've had your mask over your eyes for the last 2.5 weeks, then you missed the announcement that this Ford that we're in right now is Dream Diesel giveaway number 14. And if you're wearing the mask or plugging your ears up with it, then you also wouldn't have heard that we're putting $15,000 cash on top. So not only can you win this truck, but you can also win a fat stack of cash. But just so you're aware, 5 times entries end tomorrow if you're watching this video on Sundays, so Procrastination Nation, here's the deal. We're headed down to the shop right now to follow up on something that I had introduced probably about a week to a week and a half ago. Remember that vlog where I said that I had originally planned on making a video about a tool that was supposed to arrive, but it got delayed? Well, finally it arrived, and it's sitting down at the shop right now. But unfortunately, we weren't able to assemble it, so we figured we'd bring you guys along for that today. As well, it's the beginning of something that's very exciting. Real quick.
May I help you?
You like that?
I certainly don't hate it.
Now, boys, we need to have a serious discussion. If you guys follow me on Instagram, then you know kind of a little bit about what I'm talking about, which I'll show you on my phone here in just a second. If you don't, then you need to follow me at DURTYMAX on Instagram immediately. And while you're doing that on Instagram, just type in your little search bar at Enthusiast Apparel and give that page a follow as well. But guys, over the last few days, I've been asking for your input. I want your feedback on dually preference of the 2020 year. I found a better picture that illustrates the differences between modified Ford F450s and GMC Denali 3500 dualies, and I want your feedback. What side are you on? Do you prefer the look of the modified GMC Denali, or are you on the F450 side? Taking an unbiased stance, and I'm just conducting a little bit of market research. I want to see what you guys have to say, and I want you to drop your comments below. Also, I'm gonna put a poll right up. Why can't I never remember? Is it this side? You're like watching the screen right now, so is it this side? I think it's this side. It's gonna be up there. Cast your vote. I'm going to be paying very close attention to the numbers. You guys should also take a look at the previous post that I put up. I think you'd be pretty astonished at what we found. Here's 2 quick screenshots of when I posted 2 stock dualies, then the first picture of the modified dualies, but then I found what is, in my opinion, a little bit better looking modified GMC dually, which then I reposted, and well, the results were kind of shocking. Let's just say it may or may not influence the decision that we're making one day here soon in the relative future that's coming up. Okay, so it's a little loud in the shop right now because we broke out our diesel torpedo heater. It smells pretty good in here, as a matter of fact. But ladies and gentlemen, today I get to debut something that I'm really excited about. It's right here in front of me. This is, as per the title and thumbnail of this video, something that every shop owned by an automotive enthusiast absolutely must possess one day, whether it's this size on a bigger scale or a smaller scale, because it really opens up a lot of possibilities. I'm really excited about having this thing in my possession now because it's gonna allow us to do so many more things. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we have opened up a lot of doors with this thing right here. Check it out. All right, that thing's about to turn off in a second. We're at 68 degrees, heating it up to 70 in here. It's pretty chilly outside, so bear with us. I think you guys can understand. So, do you know what this is? If you do, then you know. If you don't, ladies and gentlemen, this is our very own in-house capable sandblasting cabinet.
You told me this was an easy bake oven. Where am I supposed to make my brownies now, dude?
I am literally so sorry, dude. I got one for you though. It's in there. It's in one of these boxes. They give you an added little.
Buy a sandblasting cabinet, get an easy bake oven for free.
Exactly. It's in there. Just wait until we open that up. So yes, boys, we are going to be able to do our own in-house sandblasting. So this is the Scat Blast sandblasting cabinet. Essentially, as simple as it is. Dimensionally speaking, we're talking 54 inches in length, 36 inches in height, and nearly 32 inches in depth. So we're going to be able to fit a lot of parts in there, including wheels. Yes, that was one of my biggest priorities, was to be able to fit a wheel, let's just say for instance like this 2414 Nemesis SS8 into the sandblasting cabinet, because at times I like to buy used wheels but they need resurfacing, and been outsourcing sandblasting as a service. But when I looked at it, the money that I was paying for sandblasting services was easily justified by a quick rate of return on actually purchasing our very own sandblast cabinet. So yes, as you can see, Jake is doing a great job illustrating the fact that this is an enclosed system. There are gloves that are associated with the gun. There's obviously a lot of stuff in here that we need to get assembled. So before we go ahead and talk about this thing as a finished product and hopefully see it work today, we're gonna just jump right into getting this thing assembled. Guys, you have no idea. Like, if there's one thing that really gets me gassed up, aside from trucks and modifying vehicles, it's tools. And I think we all collectively share that interest. And if you agree, smash that thumbs up button. All right, guys, so we're getting everything unboxed. This is super exciting stuff. Jake's got a light bulb. We got some other...
How casual you said that. You're like, Jake's got a light bulb, some other things over here.
So yeah, we do have some other things in here. We got the air hose that's gonna connect to our compressor. Jake is in fact holding one of the light bulbs that comes in this kit out of two. They're actually these power buckets right there. There are these two power boxes right here that both have switches on them. What that allows you to do is independently control each light, plus they have outlets on either side. This is what's going to help illuminate the items that we're working on. I believe they probably go somewhere in here. You can see this rests right up in this general area, and then Jake has some butterfly nuts that are gonna go on the other end, which is gonna hold this thing in place, and then we're gonna be able to illuminate what we're working on. And what's cool is these are adjustable, so we can kind of position them where we need to. I would imagine pretty much every time we're gonna have everything kind of centralized, because that's where the subject will be getting blasted, baby. So we got to get those things installed here. We have what is our airflow control pedal. This is going to go on the ground, and it's going to allow us to moderate just like an accelerator pedal, except the amount of air that's going through our blast gun. The blast gun is going to connect probably to this tube right here, I wouldn't imagine.
So that blue hose, I think, goes inside of that tube as a protectant, and then that's your hose that gets connected to the tungsten.
Yep, because you have this right here that goes to your gun, I would imagine. I'm not really exactly sure how it goes quite yet, but this is a closed off system. So the sand or the material that we'll be using to sandblast always stays in the system. We don't have to pull from other areas, so we can recirculate and be really efficient in how we're using the material. And a very important part of sandblasting is the vacuum that helps to reduce the amount of dust in the actual blast chamber, i.e. blast chamber. On the backside here, you can see these two expanded areas right here and right here. Those are actually what are kind of our vacuum nozzles right here. They're vents. So there's gonna be a hose that goes here, and then it's gonna come off to a separate system. The vacuum is gonna be created by this vacuum pump motor right here, and here's the hose that we're gonna use to create that suction. Now, once all that dust is sucked out, we're gonna have visibility of what we're working on. All that dust is then filtered through this 3-tier filter assembly, and all the dust is collected right at the bottom. This was an additional add-on to the system. You can buy these individually or as a complete package. You can sandblast without the vacuum, but good luck getting into those really tight-knit areas that you're gonna wanna make sure that you get nice and cleaned up. The vacuum is basically what gives you nice, clear visibility. So that's what this this thing is right here. It's just gonna reside right next to our unit. Cue the lights. Boom! Look at that, dude. That looks sweet.
Wow, that's actually really illuminating. I'm a giant brain.
I'm a giant brain. All right, guys, so we're gonna get right back to getting this thing ready to rock and roll. We're gonna move this big old cabinet. This thing weighs like 550 pounds. Doesn't really look like it, but it is quite heavy.
I'd put it at like a solid 250.
Anyway, it's heavy as hell, and we are gonna get it right over here. We're gonna leave it on the skid though. That way it's easy to move once we have the skid steer back here at the shop. In the instance that we might go to a new location. Just in the instance of. Oh, boys, we got ourselves a blast-ready cabinet. This thing is so sick. I'm beyond excited. I can't even put it into words. I've looked forward to this thing arriving now for over a month and a half, and it's so cool to finally have it here in its resting place. Almost ready for its inaugural sale. We've got everything hooked up. You guys saw in that sequence that these things are really simple. We've got the air line coming in from the compressor that goes to the air pedal that controls the amount of air that goes into the actual blasting gun itself. Now the blasting gun has two inlets, one for air, which is the blue line, and then this clear one, which is actually for the blast material. And this is a closed, sealed chamber, so when this is closed and turned on with a switch right up here, you can see our lights go on and the gloves will actually pop up. Here, check this out real quick. Into its ready to rock position. So we got two switches up here. This is our primary switch. We've got everything else hooked up through this outlet here. You guys can see that we have independent control. So if we want to turn the vacuum off, we can do that right here. And then we can leave one light on while we see our finished product, or for a working light to open this thing up. You will not want to open the cabinet when that's on because it'll be sucking some of that particulate out. We basically don't want to make a mess of our shop if we don't have to. We want to try and keep all that material inside of this cabinet. But this thing is super powerful. We've got the vacuum motor on top of the actual cabinet itself. As I had mentioned, there's 3 filters in here and then there's a catch can at the bottom. The one thing that we do need to get is a small little vent. This says vent to outside. We're gonna get, basically it looks like an old vacuum cleaner's bag. It's gonna kind of hang here on the back. It's gonna collect any of our particulate on the back here.
Basically just a HEPA filter.
A huge filter, essentially, which it didn't come with, which I'm honestly kind of a little surprised about because they actually included it in the instructions. I'll give them a call. I'm sure they'll work it out. Now, our gun also comes with multiple different nozzle sizes, and we've got a little Allen key here to adjust them. 2 latches on the outside. So we actually just went ahead and installed a smaller nozzle in here so that way we can blast the material more concisely. You need this. Imagine this stuff blowing around at high PSI. Literally a sandstorm. Like trying to see in a sandstorm without that vacuum. And all that dust too. Now we really should have some sort of a catch system on the back of this vent stack right here. But I am entirely too anxious to wait for that. We'll get it tomorrow. Look at that dust just floating around there, dude. That's
why I closed it off.
That should suck it right out. Boom, dude, it clears it right up. As I was just about to say before you freaking distracted me, there's no way we're gonna be able to wait. We gotta test this thing out.
Gotta find some stuff to
like we have to. Real quick there, real quick. I'm curious. Here, hold this. Turn that thing back on. Oh, look at the sand coming up, bro. You see that?
Yeah, yep.
I gotta turn the compressor back on. You know what, boys? Sorry for the sound in the back, but we gotta find ourselves some parts to blast. Yeah, we do, boys. Look at that. That'll do. Of course, just for purely experimental reasons only. Kind of a nasty looking lug nut. That'll do. Turn this vacuum off here real quick. So then we have this grate here on the bottom, and what's pretty cool is it's small. So you can just toss that stuff right on there and not worry about it falling through. Dude, I'm psyched right now, man. This is gonna be cool. I have to look forward to this day for a long time. And you know what? I always thought sandblasting was like a really cool process. Just using high PSI sand, smacking all that crap right off the surface of that material. Now, I think the one thing though, and I haven't even used this thing yet, is this is like real low. Did you notice that too?
Now, and that's even on the skid.
Now, fortunately, we have more skids. I think we're gonna have to lift this thing up, dude, and put like 2 more skids up underneath. Cause like, look, like if I'm right here, it would be nicer to have this up. Cause like right now, you kind of have to. I mean, I'll make do. It's better than nothing, I guess. But I kind of feel like I'm about to take a dump. Guys, so we just got everything out of the cabinet. Man, that was a really cool first experience. And I'm honestly not that surprised that the powder coat came off this in like 2 seconds, because you can see that these are really starting to oxidize. It's just getting dirty over time, dirt and road material, etc. But this stuff came off in a heartbeat, and you can see that is just pure aluminum now. Pretty cool. And then we had, of course, this was a spacer that came off Dream Diesel giveaway number 12 for the track bar, basically to get it aligned depending on the height of the suspension you were going. We had this powder coated by Martins, and man, they laid that stuff on thick. Great job. So we kind of just sandblasted half of it, but then we quickly realized that one of our biggest limitations, now that we've got this capability, is our good old Harbor Freight compressor. This thing emptied itself quickly when it was running air, pretty much at full PSI through that gun. And obviously you're sitting there blasting away the entire time. So we actually ran out of tank pressure halfway through this, very tiny part. So, but it still was able to get that powder coat off relatively quickly. And man, that's awesome.
I'm gonna say, this is the 2-color one. So they put that on, and that's what the base color looks like. And then they put the clear, and it becomes that tropical illusion.
Tropical
color.
fusion.
Yeah. Or was it fusion?
I think it was tropical fusion.
Yeah, I think it was tropical fusion. But yeah. It's pretty cool to see the different layers.
And then we've got this one too. This is just your standard tire iron that comes off of the truck. I think this is out of one of my old DURTYMAXs. And powder coat super thin on these. Came right off. Got that nice bare exposed aluminum in. And it would basically be prepared for what would be the next step of powder coating. Give it a shot, dude. It's awesome. Here, hold on. Let me turn back on the compressor. It's like the little engine that could over here right now. It's like, I didn't sign up for this! How sick is that, dude?
That is entirely way too satisfying.
I see a whole series of oddly satisfying sandblasting videos in our future.
I think you're right.
Jake, you're just gonna have to get in there to get the best shot though, all right?
All right.
I'll give you a respirator, like one of the dual vented ones, you'll be fine.
Forgets I'm in there, turns.
And needless to say, we're gonna have to get ourselves a bigger compressor, something that potentially has dual motors. To everybody that suggested that early on when we moved into the shop and we went out Harbor Freight shopping, you made your suggestions, you were right, it was inevitable. I realized that the day was gonna come eventually. But hey man, that thing got us through basically an entire year. I would say it pretty much justified its own existence. Plus, it's not necessarily the best when you're a vlogger and you're trying to get good audio of you talking and then there's a motor running the entire time in the background. It's not ideal. So drop a comment below. What kind of compressors do you guys suggest? Do you have any great experiences with specific ones? Because I'll be reading. And you should definitely comment below about the dually thing too. I'm still very curious about what you guys think on that. All right, boys. Well, that pretty much accomplishes our task for the evening, and that was getting that thing ready to rock and roll. We don't have any immediate things that we're gonna blast as of right now, which is a good thing, because if we were banking on blasting, let's just say, that set of American Force AKAs in a size 22x14, we'd legitimately be here for 3 days, considering the capacity of our compressor. But we have it, and we are just that much closer to being able to, one day, be able to do a set of wheels. Needless to say, this is the very beginning of some super exciting things that are in store that I may or may not have hinted at a few months back. Lips are sealed on additional details until they're ready to rock, but let's just say it's gonna open up a lot of doors for all of us. And cold start again on the vlog of Dream Diesel giveaway number 14. God, that thing sounds better and better every single time that happens. Look at these lights. Oh my God, dude, it just pops. I'm telling you guys right now, in all fairness to this build, pictures and video alike don't do it justice. You literally need to see it in person. Just look at it right now. Looks like a complete alien spacecraft. Going down the road, the presence is unpronounced. It occupies, just makes it look all the better. I know I frequently remind you guys, but truly this is not a truck that you want to miss. It is quickly becoming one of my favorite trucks we've ever given away because of the fact that it's truly unique. It has air ride, and it is essentially one of the classiest color combinations that you can get in a truck. As Henry Ford once said, you can have any color as long as it's black. And this one right here could be yours. Subscribe, hit the notification bell and the like button on your way out, and I'll see you all in the next upload.